But what I didn't realize at the time is that you can have a purpose that shifts in many different directions, right? So I can still provide, love and teach and coach women, right? But I can coach from a different aspect. Happy Self Love Sunday, ladies. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your journeys are going well. So today, I want to talk about purpose a little bit. So I get the question a lot because my Instagram, Facebook, also email is Moe Sass Fitness, right? And it's like, well, why is it Moe Sass Fitness when you do Self Love Sundays and you're a life coach who teaches women how to love themselves so that they can go out and give the world what it desperately needs, which is more love? Because what I've essentially learned is that everything in your life is a clear depiction of how you feel and how you care for yourself. Okay. So, what happened to me was back in 2010, I got certified because, all right, let me back up before then, right? I am a mom of six. Oh, I biologically gave birth to five, and I was really large. I gained a lot of weight after that, and I decided to do something about it. So, I was a teetering about like between 215 and 220. I was teetering between there. And I started working out and just loved how I felt. Then I got into the gym and I loved the people. And it was almost as if something was shifting me there, though, right? Because it wasn't just that I went to work out, like I enjoyed it. I would be in the gym for like 4 hours and just be happy. And I wasn't on some mission to just be skinny. It was just a joy that I felt. It was almost like I knew I belonged in that environment. So after taking classes for a while, I remember being in the Zumba class and the instructor was like, why don't you be an instructor? Like, you bad, because I went from the back of the class, yes, I'm proud of that, to the front row, honey, and was tearing it up, big mama and all, thick thighs, saving all the lives. Anyway, so she said to me, like, why don't you become an instructor? And I had never really thought about it, but when she said it, everything in me lit up. It was like it all clicked, right? Because I knew that a part of my purpose had to do with helping others and loving on people. I knew for a while that this was something because it came so naturally to me. Things that I would naturally do would be so hard for other people. So I kind of knew it was something with me, but I didn't know what. So back in 2010, December 2010, I went and became licensed to teach Zumba. And let me tell you something. It was like this was where I was supposed to be. Okay. So I started, teaching. It started off with Zumba. Then I went and became certified to be a primary group instructor, to being certified by Sean T to teach a few of his programs, to a Ripped, which is like an hour-long class that includes martial arts, weightlifting. And then I go from that to being a power lifter and actually competing. And everything in my world was fitness. And it was nothing for me. It was zero excuses. I'm going to get up every day, all day, and this is what I'm going to do. And I love it. And I was giving everything in me to people, and just to watch these people come into my class and how they felt it was such a difference from when they came into when they left. And being able to feed their spirit, not just by, because I didn't just get up in a class and just instruct. No, like I would feed them. I would say things to them, and just by picking the right songs and bringing the right energy, because my energy is off the charts. Okay, because when you're walking in your purpose, your energy is off the charts. Okay, so I just knew that was where I was supposed to be. But then, about 2017, I started to feel a shift in me. And I couldn't figure it out because you couldn't tell me that this is not my purpose, okay? But what I didn't realize at the time is that you can have a purpose that shifts in many different directions, right? So I can still provide, love and teach and coach women, right? But I can coach from a different aspect. I didn't realize that at the time. I didn't, because I really wasn't that deep into my spirituality yet, wasn't that deep into purpose and everything else yet, right? So I just started to feel this shift, and all of a sudden, what was my love, what filled me every single day, started to feel like a chore, started to feel like a job. And then what I noticed was um, people were taking more withdrawals out of my life than deposits. But at the time, I didn't realize how all of this was tying into each other, right? I just was feeling what I was feeling. I didn't realize that people will take just withdraw from you, and if you don't deposit back into yourself or set boundaries so they understand, like, listen, we are equals in this. That means that sometimes it's going to be a give and take, right? It's not just going to be you withdrawing from me and then I'm empty, because let me tell you something, that's exactly what happens. People will come into your life and they will withdraw from you and just consume, and you look around and their life will be just a getting along and going well, and here you are, stressed out. Your life is totally took a turn to the left. I mean, you're emotionally, physically, financially drained, and they're going on. And let's go there for a second, right? Because us helpers, right? Those people who walk in their purpose and just want to, give so much away without realizing there's some things in that, letting people borrow money from you. Let me tell you something. I have learned some very hard lessons in letting people borrow money from you. Don't let anybody borrow money that you just don't ever plan on getting back one day, because people will do that to you, okay? Because they see you in such a giving capacity. It's like, well, I can just take this from her and she'll be okay. You know what I mean? It's like, well, wait a minute. Meanwhile, I'm feeling like, yo, you leaving me for dead because I gave from my heart. I let you borrow from my heart, right? So that doesn't mean I don't need that money. That doesn't mean I don't have responsibilities. But see, that's my fault. Because what you have to, and that's what boundaries come in at, right? Well, we have to create boundaries that to no longer listen. If I'm not straight, if I can't, if I'm not able to do that, then I'm just not able to do it. And it's okay. And if you're not going to be my friend because you think that I have this life that I really don't have, and I'm not going to let you borrow from me, then guess what? You weren't meant to be my friend anyway. And that's what I've learned, that people who walk into your life and they just constantly withdraw, they're not your friend. If it's not a give and take, if we're not equally withdrawing and depositing into each other, because listen, for us givers, oh my God, you have to listen, you're gonna have to stop. And I know I'm gonna get back to purpose for a minute, but this is driving me to say this. You're gonna have to stop and deposit into yourself. You're gonna have to. Because here's the thing, you keep letting people withdraw, and I've been here, withdraw, and then it's like to the point where you just emotionally depleted. All they come in, they're like parasites. They feed off your energy. When you got that kind of energy, that loving energy, that hype energy, that energy, like they let you that cheerleader. Oh, they'll come and just let me get some of that. Let me have some of that. Never with the intention of giving anything back to you. It's just like, oh, she got some more. Just let me just keep. Never realizing that it's just like a checking account. If you consistently withdraw, eventually, right, you're gonna have an overdraft, right? It's the same for people. So I just want to say to people, stop doing that to people. Stop coming into people's lives seeing all that you can take from them and what you can get. You know what I mean? And then to my people, stop letting people do that to you. I had to learn a very hard lessons, but boundaries is it. And sometimes boundaries is not picking up the phone. Sometimes boundaries is just saying no. Sometimes boundaries is letting people, when they going through something, just let them in. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that, but not even volunteering or offering. Because and it's like, it's sad that it kind of has to sort of be that way, but when you are the person that is the helper, and you are the person who is walking in their purpose, and you're the person just love on people, let me tell you something, you have to get that lesson. And I have to learn a lot of them. I can't give them all to you today. But anyway, let's get back to the whole purpose. So 2017, I started to feel that, right? Because I was going through a lot of that. I was going through a lot of people just withdrawing. I mean, calling me early in the morning, just emotionally dumping all their stuff on me. And here I am, Miss Cheerleader. I'm going to help you through. I'm going to push you through. Meanwhile, that wasn't my job. That wasn't my job. You know what I mean? Like, I got into coaching. I think that when you get into this field, it's beautiful, right? You have that time where, this is when you're walking your purpose and you're giving and you're loving, and you kind of, that's your career path, right? So to speak. And then you have that time when you're off and you just want to be a friend, or you just want to be a partner, right? But people don't get that, and they call you and they want emotion. So sometimes that boundary is not picking up the phone. because that happened. So 2017, I was feeling that. And then it was just like, man, I had to reach out to one of my spiritual advisors and be like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with me. Like, I feel lost. Like, I never felt that way before. And I remember her telling me it's time to let go. God, the universe is trying to shift you, and you're trying to hold on to your comfortability. And I was like, man, because in my mind, right, this is my purpose. How do I let go of my purpose? And I'm not serving God, and I'm not living full and dying empty. I'm going through that, never realizing that there was a shift that was about to come that I needed. So then I remember as I finally got the courage to walk away from teaching fitness, and just so that I need to walk away from it. And I'm sitting in my office one day, and I turn on YouTube, and I hear this voice speaking, and it was Les Brown. I will never forget how it lit up in me, that same thing that happened when I fell into fitness. It was like, oh my God, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be a public speaker. I'm supposed to be a life coach. This is it. Right? You get the epiphany, but let me tell you what happens with the epiphany, right? So giving up that comfortability means I had to give up all that success that I had built in the fitness world. And I'm starting over from scratch. And it's hard. Let me tell you something. Walking in your purpose is not easy. You have to realize so many things and quick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm starting all over again. This is not me in the fitness world where I can host a fitness class or host a boot camp and people are going to come and show up because they know what they're going to get. It's starting all over. Although I'm coaching still, I'm coaching from a different aspect. So, you have to understand that walking in your purpose may not mean doing the same thing. You might end up just getting a little too comfortable, and God or the universe says, whatever you choose to call, your higher source. Oh no, I need you over here now. I need to move you over here. Right. So that's what happened to me. So I never changed my name and my email and all that other stuff because I just wasn't sure if I ever would go back to fitness. Part of me feels that I may someday. I'm not sure. So I haven't completely shut that door, but I'm going to continue to walk in this one. And I'm going to continue. Listen, because I tried to. I remember at one point I was like, you know what, God, I don't really think that I heard you right. Maybe public speaking, maybe, being a life coach really wasn't what you were telling me to do. So I tried to walk away from it for months. And I'm telling you, I will never forget. It was like, no, sorry, this is what you're supposed to do. So every Sunday morning, I get up without fail. I meditate and get my message. This is not something I contemplate on all day. That's how I know I'm supposed to be walking in it too, because the universe gives me and provides the words that I speak out my mouth. This is not something I'm making up. Now, there's times when I get a feeling I should be talking about something, and maybe I'm not really feeling it, so I won't do that. But for the most part, that's what's happening here. Okay. So I just say all that to say, don't be afraid to walk in your purpose. Don't be afraid to go for that shift. Don't be afraid to come out of your comfort zone. And if you are the person who, is walking in your light, you got to remember to create boundaries. You got to remember that people, no matter how much your energy is loving and beautiful, don't let people make more withdrawals from you. And when they start to deposit in yourself, start to create the boundaries, start the backup. Listen, I take myself away on a vacation. No, I'm not going with somebody else. I don't need somebody else to make me happy. It's an inside job. So I do that for myself, right? So you have to give yourself what you need. That's why loving yourself is so important. Whether you loving yourself, to walk in your purpose, loving yourself to create the life that you so desperately want, whatever that is, that's why it's important. And that's why I'm here. So if you want to, because I can't, as much as I want to do it every week on these videos, I can't give it all to you. So if you want tips and tricks and tools and whatever it is that you need to help you get into that realm of learning how to love yourself so that you can overcome grief, overcome, trauma issues, overcome that bad relationship, because that's exactly what loving myself did. It taught me how to, it was like, I was like overcoming these things with loving myself. You know what I mean? Like, listen, overcoming disappointment to learning how to be able to accept things for as they are and create the life that you want, and not stop being responsible for people's emotions. Stop doing that to yourself. Let these grown people be responsible for their own emotions. You be responsible for you. Start loving on you, because they will try to manipulate and make you feel guilty. You know what I mean? No, don't let them do that to you. Let them be responsible for their emotions, and you take responsibility for yours. And when you're ready, I am here. Moe Sass, Moe, as an elephant, Sass, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, at mosassfitness@gmail.com. I hope to hear from you, Moe Sass Fitness LLC on Facebook and Instagram. Reach out to me. Let's do this because it's time. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll talk to you next week.